Hi everyone, my name is Nick, and today we're going to be going over the Move constructor, which is part of the Move class in the final project called Elevators. Okay, so before we go over the Move constructor, it's going to be important to understand what is inside of the Move class. So let's go ahead and we'll start reading. Right now I'm on move.cpp in the spec, so if you can all go over there and take a look with me, that would be great. Okay, so we'll start reading. It says Move is a class declared in move.h, right? So if we want to know anything about move, we can check move.h for that information, and is responsible for representing what a player, which is going to be either the human, us, or an AI, what they want to do on a particular turn of the game. This game will take this move, validate it, and apply it to the building, which will change its state accordingly. So essentially, when we're playing this game from the command line and we want to have our elevator do something, like if we want to send it to a floor, pick up some people, save or quit, any sort of these game functionalities where we type in a string, it's going to be responsible for representing that command. And there are a bunch of different member variables and member functions that we can use for this class, but we'll get there in a second. Okay, so it says, when a player types in a specifically formatted string into the game display, so into their console, the code will parse it and convert it into a move object. All that means is the user is allowed to enter some sort of command that they want to do to tell the game what they want to do, if they want to move an elevator, if they want to pass, pick up, and this constructor is going to be responsible for parsing it, which means picking it apart and finding the stuff that we care about. And then it will change its state accordingly. So that means it's going to manipulate some of the member variables inside of the move class. Okay, there are going to be 4 types of moves that a player can input. The first one, this is called the pass move, and it does nothing, right? The player just wants to pass, so the game will continue on without making any major changes. The second move is called a service move, and what that does is it sends an elevator to a particular floor, right? So if we're on floor 3 for the elevator 1, want to send it up to floor 7, that would be a service move. Okay, the pickup move, it's going to tell an elevator to pick people up from the floor that it is on. So if I'm on floor 5 and I want to grab the first 2 people so I can bring them somewhere, that's what the pickup move is for. I say pick up the first 2 people, and that's basically it. And then there's the game move. These are just going to be sort of more overarching functions for the game. We want to save it or we can quit it. This is all going to be encompassed in like a move object. Okay, and we'll get to this in a second. This is going to be really useful down here. If you click on this section, you can see how these strings are going to be formatted. So what is a valid input? We're going to check right there, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, now let's focus our attention down here on the member data. This is the stuff that is part of the move class, right? What defines it. So the first thing we have is called elevator ID, which is an integer, and that represents which elevator this move pertains to. So if you recall, we have 3 elevators in our building. We're talking about one specific elevator, either 0, 1, or 2, and that is what elevator ID is for. We have to tell the game which elevator we want to work with. Okay, target floor is an integer representing which floor this move will take the elevator to. Right? So if the elevator is somewhere, if it's on 3, for example, and we want to bring it up to 5, target floor would be 5. Okay, this is only valid for service and pickup moves. Then we have an array called people to pick up of size 10, right? Max people per floor is 10, so we have space for all of it. It's going to be an array of indices for which people on a floor to pick up. Essentially what that means is we want to pick up specific people on a floor. So people to pick up is going to contain the indexes or the indices of where those people are. And this is going to be only valid for pickup moves. All right, num people to pick up is an integer that represents the size of the array above. So people to pick up has a certain number of people in it. How many people? Num people to pick up, that's how many people. This is only valid for pickup moves. Okay. Total satisfaction is another integer that represents the total increase in satisfaction caused by this move, right? So people are waiting on their floors, they're angry, we pick people up, and that's going to have a positive impact on the game. That's going to be represented by total satisfaction. Okay, down here we have 4 booleans or bools, is pass. If it's a pass move, that's true. All the others are false. Similarly, if it's pickup, only that one is true. The others are false. If it's save, that's true. The others are false. And if you recognize a pattern, is quit. If it's a quit move, that's the only one that's true. And all the others are false. Okay. One important note is that if it's a service move, is pass, pickup, save, and quit are all going to be false. Okay, so now we have a little rundown of how this class is structured. Let's go see how this input string is going to be formatted. So I'm going to control click on this link right here. And hopefully, yes, amazing. Okay, reading and writing. So this is going to be the structure for how a user is allowed to interact with their game, right? They're going to type in a command, but it has to follow some sort of specific format. And all of those rules are laid out right here for us. Okay, so it says the move class represents an action the user wishes to take while they're playing the game. And if you recall from before, it says there are 4 types of moves: the pass move, service move, pickup move, and game move. And we've already covered those in a little bit of detail. So I'm just going to scroll down and we're going to see how each of these specific types of moves are formatted. Okay, so the first thing that we have is the pass move. So we're at the keyboard, we're ready to have a pass move. What do I type in? It says a user enters a pass move using the empty string. Basically, they're just going to press enter. They haven't given us any sort of input. That's indicated by us just pressing enter immediately without typing anything. That's going to give us an empty string. So if you want to have a pass move, it's represented by an empty string. All right, that's the pass move. Let's talk about the service move. So it says a service move directs an empty elevator, so this elevator doesn't have anybody on it, to go to a floor. They are input by the user in the following format. So we see down here, it says string service move. So this is something that the user might input, right? E1F4. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look. The first thing says E, so that's just a character. Right after that is a number. In this case, it's 1. That's indicating to us, hey, I'm talking about elevator 1, not 0 or 2. I'm talking about elevator 1. And then the F right here is going to stand for floor. And then right after that, we'll have floor number. So down here, it says F4. I'm talking about floor 4. So for E1, F4, that means this is a service move requesting elevator 1 go to floor 4. All right, so that's the service move. We have the pickup move next. It says a pickup move directs an empty elevator to pick up people on the floor it is currently on, and then initiate travel to the farthest floor that those people wish to go to. So we are currently on a floor. People want to go to different floors. Whichever floor is the farthest away from the one that we're currently on. So if I have 2 people in the elevator, they want to go to one above, the other person wants to go to one below. I want to go to 4 above. I'm going to be the winner there. So that's going to be the pickup move. All right, how is this formatted? Pickup moves can be expressed with the following string. It's going to look like this. So down here, I see pickup move E1P. Similarly to how we have E1 in the service move, it's the same thing down here. I have E1, that's saying elevator 1, and then P comes after that, and it's going to be the pickup move. Now, mind you, we're already on the floor that we want to be on, so we don't have to specify like a certain floor that we want to go to. Pickup means I just want to pick up people on the floor that I'm currently on, and that's represented by the P. So over here, we have E1F4. Down here, we just have E1P. Okay, finally, we have some more basic ones. These are going to be gameplay moves, and then these are called game moves. And these are moves that affect the status of the game or game moves. Okay, the 2 game moves are save and quit, which are represented by either an uppercase or lowercase, S or Q, respectively. So S is for save. It could be either uppercase or lowercase. We have to take that into account. Same thing with Q, which represents quit. Uppercase or lowercase, either one should work just the same way. So we'll have to think about how we implement that. One important thing to note about the case is that in these other ones here, they only really specify lowercase. So we should make sure that we only think about lowercase for these other ones. But in the case of a game move, S or Q can be uppercase or lowercase. Okay, that was a lot of information. So in a second, we'll go onto the iPad and I'll break it down for you and we'll see how we can actually go through and parse this string, which is just programmer lingo for going through and extracting the stuff that I care about. All right, we'll see you in a second. Okay, welcome back. So we're on the iPad now, and I've kind of taken all these cases and written them down in a very structured way, and that's going to make it a bit easier for us to see what we have to do. Okay, so the thing that's slightly difficult about this function in particular is that we have a variety of strings that we have to deal with, right? There's not one specific format that it follows. It could have nothing inside of it. It could have one character or three characters or four characters. So we need to figure out what is a great way to try and navigate our way through all the different options. And generally, when I have problems like this, where there are a variety of things that it could be, I like to start at the most basic case and then work my way out case by case to the most complex case. So let's go ahead and let's ask ourselves, what is the simplest case here? So let's look through. It's not going to be service and it's not going to be pickup. There are multiple characters in there. That's going to be a little more complicated. So let's not start with those. It could be the game move, right? We have one character, but I see something slightly more simple. I see the pass move. And that literally is just going to be an empty string, not even a space, nothing inside of there. It's just going to be an open quotation mark and a closed quotation mark. I would say that's the most basic. So step one is going to be check for the pass move. So let's go ahead and we'll write that down. Step one, check for pass move. Okay, so in this case, we just check for the empty string, which is going to be right here, nothing inside of it, not even a space. And the only thing it will modify is pass, right? So let's think for a second. If it's a pass move, what should is pass be? True or false? Okay, so that's the most basic case. We know we've eliminated that one. I'll put a check right here, taking care of that. Okay, let's ask ourselves now, what is the next most basic case? Again, it's not going to be service or pickup. We see there are multiple characters in there. I would say the next most simple case is going to be the game case, right? Where this move is a game move. And that's going to be simple because it's only going to be one character, right? So open quotation marks, some character, and then the closed quotation marks. Okay, so let's see what it could be. It's either a capital Q, a lowercase q, those represent the quit moves, or it's going to be a capital or lowercase s, in which case we have the save move. So step two will be the game moves. We'll go ahead and write that down. Check for game move. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll look at what it's supposed to modify. So right here, we see this case here and this case here represent the is quit, right? So if we see a Q, what should is quit be, true or false? Okay, those are the Qs. Otherwise, we could see a capital or a lowercase s. That will be for is save. If we see an S, what do we think is save should be, true or false? Okay, so those are going to be the two more basic cases. And we've taken care of that one, so I'll put a check next to it. Great. All right, two cases left to deal with. We have the service and we have the pickup move. Now, let's take a close look and see what is common between these two, right? All right, we'll start from left to right. So the first thing that I see is an E in both cases. So we don't know which one we're at yet. It could be either of them. Okay, well, the next thing that I see is a number, right? The E right before it indicates to us that the thing that follows is going to be the elevator ID. So it looks like in both cases, we see an E, it's going to be either a service or a pickup move, right? We see the number, and we need to change elevator ID for both of these. That's great. Okay, so we have something in common. We see that we can immediately just take care of elevator ID, right? Okay, we'll write that down. Step 3. Get elevator ID. Right? At this moment, we still don't know if it's service or pickup. We know that for both of them, we're going to have to change elevator ID. And that's going to be represented by this second one right here, the number, right? Okay, so we will go ahead, we'll assign elevator ID. Now, here is where we have a difference, right? Let's take a look. I will use red for this. Actually, I'll use yellow because we used red for the text. All right, right here for the service move, the third character will be an F. But for the pickup move, the third character is going to be a P. And that is what is going to differentiate it for us. That will be the deciding character. That's going to tell us, is this a service move? Do I see an F there? Okay, it's a service move. Otherwise, do I see a P there? Okay, it's going to be a pickup move. Okay, so that's going to be step 4 per se. Determine either pickup or service. All right, if it's a pickup move, we're going to see an F, I'm sorry, a P, right? Or if it's a service move, we will see an F. Okay, so let's deal with the first case where we see the pickup move. Or I'm sorry, let's deal with the case where we see the service move first. So I'll say step 4.1. Is going to be service. Okay, in this case here, where it's the service move, there's one more character that we have to read in, and that's going to be a number. And that number is going to represent the target floor. Okay, so we see target floor is right here, represented by this number. So if we have a service move, we know that we can assign target floor. Okay, I will write that down. Okay, and so in this case, if remember from the previous part of the video, if it's a service move, is pass, is save, is quit, and is pick up, those are all going to be false. So we don't need to change any Boolean value here. All we have to do is elevator ID and then target floor. Okay, so that was the service move. Finally, we know it's not pass, we know it's not service, we know it's not game, so it's going to have to be the pickup move. Okay, that's going to be 4.2, let's call it. Step 4.2, or case 4.2 if you will. This one is going to be pickup. How do we know that? Represented by this P right here. And that, in this case, is going to change the variable is pickup, right? So if we see a P, we know it's a pickup move. What do we think is pickup is going to be? Okay, everybody, so that was a brief rundown of all the different moves you might see for the move constructor. Basically, it just takes the string and we have to go through that process of which string am I given and what variables do I have to change. Now, there are a variety of ways that we could go through this string. You're going to have to figure out what makes the most sense to you. Yeah, all right, I think that's about all I have for you today. So happy coding and good luck. I will see you guys in office hours.